Hello, everybody, and welcome to a new little series we're going to try here. I got to give credit to Sean Spencer for this here. We play this NCAA Dynasty, me, him, and Eric. And Sean came up with the idea while we were playing our game earlier today of calling the game almost like the broadcaster. I thought about calling it as the coach before while streaming, but Sean came up with the idea of the actual announcer, which I think is a lot of fun as well. So, just to kind of give a little background, we're in year 2 of this dynasty. As you can see up top, we're in week 5. We all started this dynasty as smaller schools, 1-star schools, as they're listed in the game. Sean is still with Eastern Michigan. I was with Arkansas State. As you can see now, I am with Stanford. I went 12-1, just missed the playoff, won our bowl game, and then realized I had way more talent leaving than I had coming in because it's so hard to recruit as a 1-star school. I got this offer, which I originally felt bad taking because Eric wanted Stanford. He's at Hawaii, wanted to come in to the mainland because every visit costs hours in this game, and it's a max visit regardless of where you're trying to get players to come to Hawaii. So, but he told me to take it anyways. I took the offer, and we're here in week 5. Currently 1-2. I got my revenge against Sean. That's our one win. I lost to Eric, who's now at Kansas, and then we ended up having to send that game. I was having connection issues, and then we were sitting there at 1-1. Played Ole Miss last week. I scheduled a tough team, brought a bunch of guys in to visit, tried to knock off a top 15 ranked team, lost. I had the ball driving with the chance to win the game, and I unfortunately threw an interception. So 1-2, start our ACC schedule here with SMU, who is 2-1. They have already played a conference game though and lost. I don't know who it's to, but let's get right into it here. As you can see, we're the higher overall, both offensively and defensively. I will say this, not trying to like make excuses or anything. I am terrible at defense to begin with, and my defensive line is not good. My linebackers, my secondary are pretty good. My defensive line, not so much. There is our mascot. I still don't understand the meaning behind the tree, but yeah, here we go. 1-2 Stanford against 2-1 SMU. All right, here we go. We start with the ball. Trying to get off this 2-game losing streak here. So coach said he's going to come out, play very aggressive. As you can see, bringing the ball out on the return, cost us 10 yards. All right, let's see what this offense can do. Headlined by 2 big-time transfers. Quarterback Austin Mack from Alabama and running back James Peoples. I can say the school right now because I'm not at Michigan, but from Ohio State University. They are the 2 big factors on this offense. So let's see what they do here. They hand off to Peoples, get a couple good blocks, and Peoples gets up for a gain of 9 up to the 24-yard line. This is an interesting offense because, as I said, those 2 big name guys, as far as overalls go, they're both high 80s, not quite into the 90s. But other than that, this team is pretty young. Senior left tackle, but otherwise young and inexperienced along the offensive line. We have a couple, I think one junior that didn't play last year. So let's see how they can do here. Peoples gets the first down on a gain of 4. Really, really like the aggression here. Just trying to assert dominance. Kind of Jim Harbaugh style, former Stanford head coach. All right. Let's see what they do here. Oh, they call audibles. Making some hot routes. And they drop back to pass this time. Get some good protection. Oh, and as I say that, Mac gets hit, goes down for the sack. 2nd and 21. A good play there by Wilson, getting off the right edge, getting Mac down for the sack. 2nd and 21. Let's see how they respond here. Bounce back. Once again, calling some audibles, looking to the sideline. Going up against a 5-man front. They bring all 5 plus the linebacker. Mac drops back, throws it to the receiver, and drops the ball. 3rd and 21. Let's see how they go here. Are they going to just kind of run the ball and then punt it? They're going to try and see what they can get for yardage here and go from there. Let's find out. Mac calling some audibles here. They go for the pass, throw it underneath. Don't get nearly enough yardage. Gain of 12 makes it 4th and 9 from their own 29. Some coaches named Dan Campbell would go for the 4th down there, but Stanford's going to punt the ball. Not a great punt, decent, gets it up to the 34 for SMU. All right, SMU starting a true freshman quarterback, Angel Tam. Let's see how he rolls for SMU here. All right, Stanford comes out in the 4-man front. SMU trips to the left. They drop back to pass. Get no pressure from Stanford's D-line. Gain of 6, brought down by the linebacker immediately. SMU goes no huddle, tries to keep the pace going here. Calls an audible, looks to the sideline. Runs an option, gets the 1st down to the Stanford 49. Again, no huddle. Going with this pressure, seeing how the Stanford defense responds. So far, it is not great. Runs the read option. Quarterback takes it again. Big gain up to the Stanford 26. 2 carries, 34 yards for true freshman Angel Tam. How is Stanford going to respond defensively here? Trips to the right. Oh, and play action pass. Stanford brings pressure. SMU still gets the ball off, gets the 1st down. Gain of 12 actually to the Stanford 14. How is Stanford going to stop the bleeding here? They are just rolling down the field way too easily. Motion over to the right. Play action pass. Once again, quarterback takes off. Slides down after a gain of 4 to the Stanford 10. My God, Stanford cannot stop a nosebleed right now. 2nd and 6. Trips to the right, the short side of the field. Tam calling all sorts of hot routes, some audibles here. Drops back to pass, throws the underneath route. Tight end shakes off the linebacker, gains 4. 3rd and 2. SMU drops back and scores the touchdown. That was actually the wide receiver, not the tight end that I called out before. Touchdown to the wide receiver. SMU rolls right down the field. How can Stanford respond here? Doesn't get much worse of a start for Coach Loosemore and the Cardinal here. 7 plays, 65 yards in just over a minute 40. SMU kicks off to Stanford. Drops back, returns the kick once again. Gets to about the 20, the 20. 5 yards short of where they would have been had they taken the knee. All right, so Mac and the Stanford offense come back out. 1st and 10. How do they respond? Drops back to pass. Throws it to the tight end. Holds on to the ball, hit immediately. A good gain of 5 on 1st down. All right, Stanford comes back out. Trips to the right. Shifted 4-man front for SMU. Stanford goes with the outside zone. Peoples kicks it back inside. Gains 7. Good run on 2nd down there. Good blocking by that Stanford offensive line. Peoples finds the hole and gets the 1st down. 4-man front of bunch just off the right of the offensive line here. Drops back again, throws it to the tight end. Apologies, we had some technical difficulties there, but we are back. All right. Stanford gets the ball back, gets back on the ball here. Mac calling some adjustments here. Looks like he's calling protections for the offensive line. Drops back. Finds the tight end again. Seems to be quite the mismatch here. 3 catches, 28 yards for the tight end, Blackburn. 1st and 10 again for Stanford. Offense seems to be rolling a little bit here. Drops back. Catches the receiver underneath on that drag route. Gains a bunch more yardage. Another 1st down for Stanford. Now they do a little bit of hurry up, get back on the ball here. Making some adjustments once again. Snaps the ball. Goes to the running back, who drops the ball before even getting hit. Oh, my. Oh, that's a tough one. Could have gained more yards if he broke that tackle. You might be looking at a touchdown. But here we are, 2nd and 10. Stanford comes back out in the shotgun. Trips to the right, the wide side of the field. Calling more adjustments here. Snaps the ball. Takes a shot to his receiver down the field. Mac overthrows it. Incomplete. We are looking at 3rd and 10. Mac not bad so far. 5 of 8 for 61 yards. Once again, trips to the right. The running back to the right of the quarterback. Mac makes some more adjustments. Snaps the ball. Throws it underneath the receiver. Does not get enough yardage for the 4th down. Do they go for it? Pretty quickly, they leave the offense back out on the field. Going for it on 4th and what looks to be 2.5 yards. Snaps the ball. Peoples does not get the yardage. Runs into his offensive lineman. The defense was there anyways, though. Gets the stop. SMU turns the Stanford offense over on downs. SMU starts with the ball at their own 16-yard line. They run an RPO, throw it to the receiver on the outside. Big hit from the Stanford corner after a few yards there. And that is the end of the 1st quarter. SMU 7, Stanford 0. Look at the stats there. Stanford's beating them in yards. We've had to move. We moved most of the way down the field that last drive. Did not get the 4th down conversion. Did not get any points off it. That is the difference right now. All right. SMU comes out in a spread formation. 2 wide receivers to each side. Runs an RPO again. Gets the 1st down. Tackled down at the 30-yard line. No huddle again. Read option, stopped in the backfield. Good play. No huddle again. Continuously on the ball. Making adjustments is Tam. Both sides of the field. Play action pass. Quarterback takes off. Gains big yardage. Slides down at the 50, 57 rushing yards for Tam. The freshman quarterback making plays for the SMU Mustangs here. Another play action pass. What does Tam do? Gets rocked just past the line of scrimmage. Linebacker comes down and lays the hammer. We got 2nd and about 9.5. SMU, of course, goes no huddle. They run the motion, run an inside zone off that fake jet. doesn't gain much yardage. Go no huddle once again. Both teams making adjustments. Play action pass. Throws it short, picked off by the Stanford DB. What a play to step up in front of that. Bad throw by the freshman quarterback. And Evan Johnson, the star transfer corner, makes Tam pay. Can Stanford capitalize on this mistake now? 1st and 10, bunch to the right. Running back also to the right. Throws to the tight end. Holds on. Gain of 12 just past the first down. See if they can keep this ball moving. Looks to be kind of, trips to the right once again. Looks like they're running the speed option. Passes it off to Peoples, who gets a gain of 9. Good run, good play by the Stanford offense there. 2nd and 1, 1.5. Bunch to the left. 40 up front for the Mustangs. Toss out to the right. They rush inside. Good look for the Cardinal. 1st down. I'd imagine Stanford wants to get people going a little more. 5 carries, 23 yards. Would like to see him touch the ball a little more than that, you would think. Play action pass to him, though. Mac gets hit right off the bat. Pressure right up the middle. He had no time off that play action to throw that ball. 2nd and 10. Mac making more adjustments. Play action once again. Throws it out to Peoples. My apologies. That's Overton, the backup running back. Good spin by Overton. Gets brought down at the 10. Just outside the 10. 1st and 10 for the Cardinal at the 10.5-yard line. Hands it off to Peoples. Breaks through the line a little bit. Gains about 3 yards. 2nd and 7-ish for the Cardinal. Bring that bunch to the right. Looks like 3 tight ends. Likely a heavy run set. Hands the ball off again to Peoples, who just about has the touchdown. Gets brought down by the defensive lineman. 3rd down. You'd have to imagine this close. They're going to go for it. You might as well run the ball. See what you can get. Peoples gets the ball again. Gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Cardinal. James Peoples with the 1st touchdown of the game for the Stanford offense. Good response off that interception. And we are tied. Just under 2 minutes left in the 1st half. Really good start to this game here for both sides. Both teams made a mistake. Both teams capitalized on that mistake. Point after is good, and we are tied at 7. SMU gets ready to kick off. Stanford gets ready to kick off to SMU, who is ready to receive the kick. Kicks it back deep into the end zone, and they just take a knee. SMU will start at the 25. We are all tied at 7. All right, 1st and 10. Let's see what the Mustangs do. You'd have to imagine they keep up that high-paced offense. Ran lots of play action. Let's see if they actually run the ball. Nope, more RPO. Missed tackles by the defense. Another missed tackle. And they are going to score. My goodness, what poor tackling by the Cardinal defense. They just bounced off him time after time after time. 75-yard touchdown for Singleton and this SMU offense, and they respond quickly to take the lead again. Point after is good, and 14-7. 12 seconds to answer. 2 minutes, 40 seconds left in the 1st half. Let's see if Stanford can respond now. See if they can get down, score once again before the half. Just about broke that tackle. Almost into the open field. All right, 1st and 10 at the 20, just about the 26-yard line. Let's see how they respond. Heavy dose of the run last time. They go back to it. Peoples gains about 8 yards. Good blocking up front allows him to get through and into the open field. breaks a tackle or two. You never know, might be gone. 2nd down and 2. Two receivers both sides. Open box. They run the ball. Overton cannot gain yards. In fact, runs backwards, gets brought down in the backfield. Makes it 3rd and 5.5, about 6. That is the 2-minute warning. All right, let's see. All right, Max snaps the ball, throws to the receiver who got away on the drag route, gets tons of yardage. Down to the 35, almost to the 30. Could not break the tackle, but big gain by the receiver there. Minute 50 and counting. Let's see how Stanford runs the offense here and controls the clock. Drops back to pass. Hits the receiver. Hangs on, breaks the tackle. Gains 5. Minute 35 and counting. Comes back out in the gun, bunch to the right. Running back also on the right. Snaps the ball. Pressure coming off the left side. Mac breaks out. Throws. Gets the 1st down. Clock stops for the sticks to set. Minute 19 and counting. Mac takes a look at the defense. Makes a call here. Snaps the ball. Hands it off to Peoples. Oh, gains 2. Ran into the back of his own offensive lineman. You'd like to see him make a cut one way or the other. Didn't do it. Just runs into his own offensive lineman. 50 seconds and counting. Max snaps the ball. Throws it to the receiver on the zig route. Drops the ball. We have an injured offensive lineman on the play. 3rd and 8, 47 seconds left. Clock stops for the injury and the incompletion. See how this offense responds. Trips to the right. Running back also to the right. Lone receiver off to the left. Max steps back. Throws it to the receiver on the left. Catches it. Goes down at the 1. 1st and goal. 42 seconds left. Comes back out in the gun. Trips to the left. Tight end on the right. Peoples in the backfield with Mac. Mac hands the ball off to Peoples. Touchdown number 2 on the day for James Peoples. Offensive lineman has a broken finger. Will not be returning. Touchdown Stanford. 32 seconds left. The point after is good. 2 minutes, 5 seconds, 74 yards in 9 plays for that Stanford Cardinal offense. Cardinal get ready to kick it back off to the SMU Mustangs. Ball goes into the back of the end zone once again. Takes the knee. All right, so if you're Stanford here, you can't allow them to get into field goal range. They run this high motion offense. Lots of no huddle. Run a lot of plays in succession. They call the timeout after getting the 1st down to the tight end. 27 seconds left on the clock. Tam alone in the backfield. Trips to the left, 2 receivers to the right. Tam drops back. Finds the receiver down the middle of the field, and they are already in field goal range. 21 seconds left. This offense is just slicing up this defense. See if at halftime they can come up with an answer, because they've got nothing right now. Throws it underneath to the tight end, goes out of bounds after a gain of 4. 16 seconds left, 2nd and 6. This is a very inexperienced defensive front here. Back 7's really good. The front 4 is young. Not much playing experience. That is definitely hurting them now as we swat the pass down. 3rd and 6. 14 seconds left. See what both sides do here. SMU comes back out in the empty, quads to the right, 4 receivers out to the left, or quads to the left, sorry. 4 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Throws it underneath to the left. One of the receivers on the left crossing over to the right. 8 seconds left. They call the timeout and go for the field goal. Snap is good, kick is good, and the field goal is good. So almost worst possible scenario for Stanford. Giving up points, let them right down the field. 5 seconds left. Let's see what Stanford does. They're going to leave the ball this time. 1st and 10 at their own 25. 5 seconds left. It'll be interesting to see. Do they just take a knee? Do they just run the ball, kill the clock? No, they come out in the empty set. Looks like they're going to try and do something here. Drop back. Mack throws it deep. Got a receiver one-on-one down the field. Receiver comes down with it, gets tackled at the 7, though. Oh, you would have liked to see him break that tackle, get into the end zone. Great throw by Mack. Great catch out there by the receiver to beat the one-on-one coverage. Could not get in the end zone, though. SMU takes the lead into halftime, up by 3, 17-14. Really good first half for that SMU offense. True freshman quarterback Tam running all over the defense, passing it at will. Receivers wide open. Defense couldn't tackle on that one-play touchdown drive for SMU, and SMU gets the ball to start the second half. That is why I was saying the worst possible scenario for Stanford. You gave them the lead and they get the ball. They return it up to the 22-yard line. Let's see if Stanford had any answers coming out of halftime here for Tam and the SMU offense. They drop back, throw underneath, breaks the tackle. That middle linebacker is typically a sure tackler. Could not get it done there. Breaks the tackle, gains 8, 2nd and 2. SMU switches their offense up, goes no huddle. Fullback in the formation on the right. 2 receivers stacked to the left. Play action pass. Stanford cannot get there. Receiver holds on to the pass. Gets the first down. Doesn't matter what Stanford tries to do here. It seems it just does not work. 1st and 10 on the SMU 35-yard line. Tam gets the pass off. Receiver or defensive back dives to try and tackle the receiver. Does not work. Gets finally brought down at the Stanford 42-yard line. SMU rotates to a different formation, moves guys around, and quick pressure up the middle by Stanford. Defensive tackle Jacoby Murray with the sack. Loss of 6, 2nd and 16. Nobody, the guard decided to go out. Nobody even touched him. All right, 2nd and 16. They have a little slot fullback over to the left there. 2 receivers out far on the left. Tam drops back again. Gets brought down once again. 3rd and 23. Joe Asian with the sack, back-to-back sacks. Just as we were saying, this defense couldn't get anything figured out. Back-to-back sacks. 3rd and 23 for Tam and the SMU offense. What do they do here? Running back motions out. Definite pass. Gets it to the receiver who gets brought down right away. 4th and 12. And SMU sends out the punt team. Good stop by the Stanford defense. They needed that in the worst possible way. Short punt by the Mustangs. Returner lets it bounce into the end zone. Stanford starts off at their own 20-yard line. All right, let's see what the Stanford offense can do coming out of the half here. Got it going late in the second quarter there. See if they can continue off that. Hand it off to Peoples. who tries to get to the outside, brought down after 4 yards up to the 24. 12 carries, 49 yards, and 2 touchdowns for James Peoples today. They continue to hand it off to Peoples, who breaks it back to the left, gains the first down, yardage brought down right after the first down. Good lane opened up by that offensive line. Peoples finds it and gains the yardage for the first down. All right, let's see what they do on first down here. Hands the ball off to Peoples once again, who does not read the hole. Runs right into his offensive line. All right, and we're back. Stanford takes the lead 21-17, 5:59 left in the fourth. Stanford kicks it off near the back of the end zone, and SMU just kneels it down, takes the ball at the 25 instead. All right, Stanford got on the board this half. Let's see if SMU can respond and do the same. They got trips out to the right, one of those being a tight end, and they still just run the RPO. Stanford should almost just set up for the pass because they do not run the ball. No huddle here. 1st and 10. Switch the formation. Just flip it to the other side. Tam making some adjustments here. Brings some motion over to the left, an orbit route. Play action once again. Throws it to the receiver who just breaks through the entire defense. If you're Stanford, you cannot have that. Oh my. Big play for Tam Knight and that SMU offense. Touchdown Mustangs. What a response. Sean, I see your comment here. Can you hear me now? For some reason, with my headset being the only one on here, it continues to just shut off. I don't know why that is. I wonder if there's a setting I can change on that. But yeah, let me know if you can hear me now. Oh, loud and clear. Okay, perfect. Awesome. Yeah, I don't know why, but every now and then it just decides it just thinks that nobody's talking, so it's just gonna shut off, even though I'm talking to you guys on here. All right, 1st and 10, bunch over to the right. Mac drops back, throws it to Peoples underneath, who turns the corner, gets the yardage for the first down, up to the 34-yard line. Good route by Peoples and way to turn the corner. Mac looks to the sideline, calls an audible here. Calls the run play. They had an open box, and he ran right down, handed it to Peoples. Big gain up to midfield for James Peoples. 21 carries, 89 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Big game for James Peoples. Trips over to the right. Mac drops back. Oh, throws a bad pass, gets intercepted by the middle linebacker. Not a good decision by Mac. Poor execution as well. And, looks like maybe he got hit as he threw it there. But either way, SMU, fresh off that long touchdown, gets the ball right back with a chance to add on to their lead. 24-21 Mustangs, 4.5 minutes left. They run the read option. Seems like the only time they run it is their quarterback. He gains 12 yards, though, up to the 37 of the Cardinal. Big gain on first down. Hands it off to the running back this time. Big yardage again, just gashing this Cardinal defense. 1st and 10 again for SMU on the Stanford 22-yard line. 4 minutes left. Play action pass. Deflected, dropped by this SMU receiver. Good play by the Stanford defensive back to just bring coverage on that play. 2nd and 10, 4 minutes, 3 seconds left. Stanford's defense gets a chance to breathe. 22-yard line of the Cardinal. RPO by the Mustangs. Nobody's there to cover the tight end, and touchdown Mustangs. 30-21 for the Mustangs over the Cardinal. Make that 31-21, just under 4 minutes left. The Stanford Cardinal down 10. How do they respond? They're going to have to score quick. Do something they haven't been able to do outside of one drive all game, get a stop, and then score once again. See if they can do it. Solid return up to the 21-yard line. All right, Mac's going to have to make some plays here. Probably not going to see much of Peoples running the ball left here. Mac drops back, throws it to Overton, who's in the game for Peoples. Big yardage up to midfield right off the bat. That's a good start to this drive. Exactly what you want to see if you're Coach Loosemore and that Stanford offensive staff. All right, trips over to the left. Looking to the sideline, making some adjustments. Mac making even more adjustments. Snaps the ball. Mac throws it as he's getting hit. It goes nowhere. 2nd and 10. 3 minutes, 26 seconds left. 5-man front for the Mustangs. Let's see if they bring all 5. Trips to the right for the Stanford offense. Peoples over to the left. Throws it to Peoples underneath. Turns the corner again. Gets out of bounds at the 39-yard line of the SMU offense or defense. 1st and 10, Stanford. 3 minutes, 20 seconds left. Got to continue to move the ball here. Like to get probably some more chunks than what they're getting right now, but take what you can get. And that should have been pass interference, but instead it's just an interception. Linebacker completely stopped the receiver right as Mac went to go through it and threw it to the other linebacker sitting right there. That might be curtains for the Cardinal team here. Unless they can make a stop here. 1st down, Mustangs. Nobody's there to tackle. Playing way too conservative right now. Tam and this offense have so much time to get things rolling here. Stanford brings pressure. It still does not matter. 1st down, SMU breaking tackles, wide open receivers. Everything is going wrong right now for this Stanford defense. SMU looks over to the sideline. Tam making some adjustments. Just going to run this clock. Is Coach Loosemore going to use his timeouts? 13 left on the play clock and counting. 10. SMU going to let this run pretty much right down. Read option. Once again, the whole defense is fooled. Tam does not get the 1st down. 2nd and 1. See what kind of stops they can make. Stanford brings 6 up to the line of scrimmage here. See how many they bring. They bring all 6. And they break through, but SMU's running back breaks tackles and gets right through. Falling apart. 2 minutes, 13 seconds left. SMU up 17. Feeling pretty good right now. If you're SMU, you got to go down the field. You got to try and take chunks. Try and score right away. All right. Stanford comes back out. Bunch to the right. Mac drops back. Throws it deep to the right. Ends up being double coverage. And it gets deflected. 2 minutes, 3 seconds left. 2nd and 10. Trips to the right. Peoples also out to the right. Mac takes the snap. Drops back. Throws it deep once again. And off the deflection, the SMU DB comes down with it. Minute 53 seconds left. The 2-minute warning finally, or the injury timeout here, stops the clock. And that is likely it. Timeout by Stanford. After the tackle right at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be too little too late, though. 2 receivers each side for SMU. Spread out wide. Read option. defensive end bites on it once. Is that working now? No. Okay, you can hear me now? Perfect. All right. Sean says, so coach, what do you think were the biggest issues in today's game? I mean, a big one is tackling. Uh, at least two of those touchdowns where we made the play, we were right there and couldn't tackle worth a damn. So, big issue is tackling there. Absolutely number one thing we're going to be working on this week. You shouldn't be working on that in week 6, but clearly we need to. So, yeah, tackling, biggest issue. Other than that, I think overall we were okay. A little bit of execution from our offense. It's most of the way there. I don't think it's that far off. Defense has a lot to work on though. Sean says, Coach Loosemore, after coming off a big comeback against EMU, do you think your players had a letdown. Yeah, I think overall we have this is a 3-game losing streak now. Lost to Ole Miss. I mean, we were toe to toe with them in that game, and then just threw a pick late as we were trying to score. So, that was after. Sorry, we lost by 2-3 scores to Kansas. So, I absolutely think we've had a letdown. Don't know what the solution is, but we've got to figure something out quick. I mean, I didn't come here to lose multiple games. I lost one game at Arkansas State last year. So, this is new. I don't lose that often. So I want to see how we can bounce back. If we need to make changes, I have to do that. Sean Spencer says, with it being a loss in ACC play, what does your offense need to focus on going forward? Finishing. I mean, if we bring up the box score here, I'll look at it on the screen. We had 422 or 432 yards of total offense and 21 points. Finishing is the big issue there. Absolutely the big issue. We had the 3 turnovers actually. All right. I accidentally unplugged the headset there that time, so that one was on me. I don't really count that last interception because it was deflected while we're just launching the ball going for it. But 2 interceptions, you can argue the one pass interference. So really, it's maybe only one bad decision by Mac there. But overall, we just got to finish better. When we got down there and handed the ball off to Peoples, he finished 3 times, 3 touchdowns. Can't ask any more of that. We got to finish better as an offense overall. With these losses and the rough start against EMU, do you listen to any of the talk about you being on the hot seat? I welcome it. It's valid discussion. I will say I'm already almost as good as the guy that was here before me. This program only won 2 games last year. 2-10. We're 1-4 right now. 1-3 right now. Sorry. So still lots of time to bounce back. But hey, if they want to talk about it, go ahead. That's totally their prerogative. Media needs something to talk about all the time. So I will. I'll leave that at that. See, I'll give it another minute or so. See if we have any other questions, and then if not, we'll call that a night here. Sean said, I have heard some chatter from Coach Kelly. Do you have a response to anything he said? I'm not sure what you're referring to here, so I can I can't speak on that. But he won the game this year, so he's got every right to talk. I won the game last year, so I had my chance to talk. Now it's his turn. Go and update some recruiting here while we're doing this press conference. Multitask here a little bit. The losses don't really seem to have affected recruiting. We're still doing well on that front. Coach Kelly has alluded to you giving out improper benefits to your players. Thoughts? People can think whatever they want. My thought is, I'm a great recruiter. I get players to come wherever I go. So, I don't know what else I can say on that. Good recruiters get players when they want them. So, yeah. As far as improper benefits, there's no like McDonald's bags or anything like the Tennessee Volunteers used to do. There's no not buying anybody a cheeseburger or anything. We're keeping everything above board here. So I know I idolize a coach that may have played in the gray area, but we don't do that here. So if we did, I think we'd be a lot better than 1-3 right now. So yeah, try and do everything the right way. All right. I think we'll wrap it there. Thank you guys for hopping in and watching. Try and figure out some of the technical issues uh, as we move forward here. Might be on again to call a game tomorrow. We'll see. I got one more question here. Is there any credibility to the rumor that the Stanford job is a stepping stone to an eventual position in Ann Arbor if it opens up? There's there's no credibility to it. Obviously, Michigan's not going to come calling if we can't even right the ship in Stanford. All right, that was weird. As I've stated before, um, no credibility to that. I want to get this back to the Andrew Luck days, the Christian McCaffrey days, all that talent that has walked through these doors, the great years that they had under Jim Harbaugh and David Shaw and those guys, and even back further. I want to be able to bring that to Stanford here. I want to make this an ACC powerhouse. So I'm not looking at any other job. This is my place for the foreseeable future. If down the line Ann Arbor comes calling, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But for now, I'm not looking anywhere but here in Stanford. All right, we'll wrap that up. Thank you, Coach Spencer. I know you were doing some film study, maybe getting your Connor Stallions clone there, helping you out with some of our signals. But we'll see you next time. I'm sure we'll be scouting you all the same. And yeah, we'll leave it there for now. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.